Hey guys, traveling alone with 4 kids, or any kids really, can be completely overwhelming and challenging, but I just got done with a solo trip with my 4 kids, and so I wanted to tell you, with proper planning and organization, it can be manageable and even enjoyable. So here's some tips to get that going for you. First is to prep and kind of talk about your trip in advance. Tell them about any safety things or just rules, such as, we use our indoor voices on the plane, or to hold hands or be touching the wagon, which is what I use through the airport, that you could ask the flight attendants for help with something. Just general rules, kind of talk about and prep in advance. That way when you get there, they already have kind of this knowledge about what's going to happen. Next up is to be choosy on your flights. So pick a flight that's going to work for you, depending on how long of a haul you have or short of a haul. Think about nap times, think about bedtimes, think about how they are going to get on the plane and be mesmerized and not going to want to fall asleep right away. So if you plan a flight right at their nap time, be prepared that they may not fall asleep right away just because it's their nap time. They're going to need a half hour to just take in the plane and all the surroundings. So keep that in mind. Third would be to pack light. When you travel, you want the least amount of stuff that you can carry, especially if you're going solo with your kids. So I never pack more than a carry-on. My kids' carry-ons are small carry-ons, like European budget airline small. That way they can carry them themselves. And I have a whole video on what we've packed to travel internationally. I will link it in the description below if you want some ideas. But the key is that they can carry their own stuff no matter their age. So you have to have a small enough bag that they can do that. I also utilize packing cubes, and I make sure to pack versatile clothing so that one shirt matches all the shorts, or one short matches all the shirt. It's just very versatile. I do dark or patterned clothing so that if it gets dirty, you can't see all the dirt. Lots of little tricks there, but pack as little as you can. Next is to get to the airport early enough that the kids can kind of run around and get some energy out and get that excitement of travel day and being at the airport and all that out in advance. A lot of airports, almost every single one I've ever been to, have little kids areas and playgrounds that you can find and let them run around and enjoy. Also, just seeing different terminals, different gates, all the things. It's exciting for them, so let them run around and kind of just get that energy off before you get on the plane. I also would say with that, give everyone a responsibility. So with multiples, when you're traveling with them, maybe pair up the older sibling to a younger sibling. That way, if you are separated in the aisle, the older one can kind of help the younger one, and they can all be in charge of carrying their own things. Maybe someone's in charge of filling water bottles once you go through security. Just kind of having that gets them a little excited about, again, doing that extra thing. Next would be to use your wagon or stroller. I have a wagon with 4 kids, but your stroller, whatever it might be, use those and gate check them. So my wagon in particular is great because anything that we did have, I could put in there and then we could just gate check that. Gate check basically means you have it all throughout the airport, and you can bring it and then check it as you're about to board the plane. Then they will give it to you as you get off the plane, and you have it once again. So personally, that works great for me for strollers. I do not like to bring car seats. I know some people love having their car seats on a plane and then they can put their kids in the seat. That has never worked for my kids, and then that car seat is another thing just to lug around the airport. So personally, that actually is not my recommendation, but do that if you want. And you can rent a car seat from a rental car agency if you really need to when you're at your destination. So yes, for me, I don't actually think that's not my preferred way to do it, but you could gate check car seats as well if you wanted. Next up, number 6 is entertainment. Entertainment. Keeping those kids occupied on the plane, because let me tell you, they're not going to sleep the entire time. Simple toys, window plings, drawing things, stickers, small figurine, Play-Doh, a little bit of Play-Doh, not don't run the gambit there. A cookie cutter to use with said Play-Doh, maybe 6 Magna-Tiles. something they can build a box with to play with said figurine in, or they can just build some structure. If they're into something, accessories for that something. My kids are really into baby dolls, so they might bring like a baby doll or a Lovey to hold, and then they might also bring a baby food spoon, a little baby bowl, and a, I don't know, baby blanket or something to play with that baby doll with. So if they're into action figure, Batman, whatever, it might be the accessory for that, but like that sort of thing. And then a tablet. So even if you don't use like TV and all that stuff, a tablet can be really helpful when you have multiples. I actually have a learning app that we typically do for that sort of thing, and it's called Homer. I've done review videos on that, but it's a really cool learning app, and you can use it in offline mode, which I do really like about it. And then it's the learning. So we'll do that on a plane. We'll do like a learning app that they're allowed to do, and they love it. And then I would just say also, of course, make sure you pre-charge them and that you have them like being used in offline mode so that things don't need to be signed in when you're offline, because that just won't work. They do oftentimes have plugs now on airplanes if you don't pre-charge it, but some of the like smaller jets like don't. So I always pre-charge mine just in case. Of course, a little stuffed animal or blanket might be useful too, depending again on what time you're traveling. And then the next one, food and snacks, kind of goes with entertainment because that can be entertainment for them on the plane, but definitely pack snacks, even if you're flying at a time where you don't think that they're going to be hungry. Like I said, it can be used as entertainment, so pack the snacks. Water bottles too, those are just, you know, you need that on a plane, and you can take it through security, and then there's water filling stations, so you can do that at the airport as well. Number 8 is to board the plane last. I know some people love like that coveted board with small kids first. Oh my gosh, I hate it. Do not do that. You want to be on the plane with your kids for as little time as possible. I am telling you. Sometimes you get stuck on the tarmac after you've like wheeled off and you're waiting to take off. You might be 8 in queue, which means you're going to be sitting there even longer. The air oftentimes doesn't work right and like doesn't get cool until you're in like actual flying mode. So you're getting hit with warm air, it's hot, kids are antsy. Like, use that time with them looking through the safety magazines and the onboard entertainment guides or whatever it is. Use that time while you're in the air. You don't need it beforehand. Board the plane as late as possible. I am telling you, it just is less time for you to entertain them. It is better. We are literally always the last on the plane. And I said, I gate check items and I still have time to get the plane without like on the plane without stressing. Don't stress. You have time. You can still gate check your items. Get on the plane last if you have kids. I promise is way better. And kind of going along with that, make sure that you go to the bathroom before you get on the plane. They do have bathrooms on the plane, obviously, but with kids, it's just nicer to kind of go in a more relaxed, stress-free environment. A lot less constricted space, I guess I'll say. And then also, I would say if you want to, if you're taking like a night flight, change into your PJs and kind of do a bedtime routine before you get off the plane if you want. If bedtime is like midway through the plane ride, then I guess you could do that on the plane. But oftentimes we'll just do it while we're waiting for the plane, while we're getting ready to board, do PJs, teeth, all that. And then when we get on, we kind of know it's getting to be bedtime. We play around, we take in the plane, maybe we have a learning game on our tablet, and then we'll go to sleep and they have their PJs on, and that kind of just helps them stay in that regular routine. Flying with your kids can be just, it can be stressful. I'll just say that. So whatever you can do to stay calm and just collected and soft would be on my number, like 9, I think we're on, because they will mimic your attitude. If you're calm, if you're happy, they will be calm and happy. If you are stressed, yelling, they will start to go on the defensive and start crying and have meltdowns. So just try to keep them as stress-free and carefree as possible to keep them in a good mood as well. And then number 10 would be just don't forget to ask for help. Your flight attendants, your staff at the airport, all those people are there to help you, and they totally will if you need it. So don't forget to use them. Don't feel bad about using them. And yeah, use them, fellow travelers even, if you need them. And have a good flight. So yes, planning ahead, staying organized, keeping a positive attitude, those are all things that make it so that you can have a successful and enjoyable trip, even if you are traveling with kids. So that is all for today. I will see you next time. Bye.